Steady. Find the door. Go find the door. Find the door. Good boy. Up the top. Find the wind. Good boy.
One beam and you got it. Yeah, I didn't look that low.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the dinner, it was lovely because I had bits of crackling, I had apple sauce and the beef. And
Yeah, I could eat that
meat.
today.
I love bread.
Okay, then it's prep then.
Yeah.
I think it's our experience in guide dogs that sometimes if we're not in at the start of major projects and major changes to society, that sometimes we're playing catch up. So we're often going at the 11th hour and saying, you know, what about vision impaired people? And oftentimes, you know, regulations have been put in place, the money's been spent, and it's quite hard then to get people to take that seriously and understand the needs of vision impaired people.
Once you take that noise source away, the car is inherently an awful lot quieter. By the time you're up to about somewhere between 20 to 30 kilometres an hour, the actual sound of the tyres on tarmac or the aeroacoustic noise of the car just moving through the air actually takes over as the main noise source. So the focus of our work here is just to reinforce the sound that's essentially missing when we go into a battery electric vehicle. What this system does is it gives some acoustic cues that people will recognise that there's a car there even before they've looked. The background of this is we do probably an awful lot more listening than we do looking. We certainly do an awful lot more listening than we realise, and there's a lot of sound is processed at a subconscious level. If you take out those audio cues of a you know, there's a car coming towards you, then you put people at potentially increased risk in city spaces.
It makes a big difference when you're in a busy environment where traffic has to move slowly, because there is very little to give you a clue that something is in your way if you're using a dog and you're making the judgment call to cross. And also, when you're using a white cane and you're without your dog, you stand even less chance.
cars have made noises for years, and blind people have been taught to use those noises to help them in day-to-day life, to follow the direction of traffic, to know where they're going down a road, to listen for car engines, to know when it's safe to cross a road. And taking those engines away, that takes a massive amount of independence and confidence away from visually impaired people navigating.
What we did yesterday?
So yesterday, I went out.
Did you?
And I went with you.
Yeah.
We're going to have to teach them, what does an electric car sound like? How do you interact with that car? What are the differences between the sound of an electric car and a normal combustion engine vehicle? Over time, I think that's going to become more and more challenging. So we're going to have to find ways in which that we educate people with low or no vision and how to deal with those situations.